All right. Let's see if anybody shows up. Hmm. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, friends. I am live on YouTube. Those of you who are joining me, welcome, welcome. Give just a minute. Let's get everybody logged in, and then YouTube, you guys can feel free to throw me a chat. Oh, sorry, I got my double talking here. All right. Oh, hi, Pat. Welcome. Good to see everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I see everybody logging in. I'm going to give you guys just like one more minute here, and then I'll get started. Okay. All right, I'll let my YouTubers, if you guys log in, and let me know again. You guys are live as well. Throw me a higher wave or a heart, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna get started again, as I always like to be on time, and you guys know everybody else will slide in. They always do halfway through, and they can go re-listen. So let's start it. All right. Welcome to the Truth Tribe, everyone. I'm Dawn Thompson, and thank you for being here. I know you guys know this, you've been with me a long time, that you're all perfect exactly where you are right now. And it may not feel like it, I know. Believe me, I know, but there's nothing wrong with you. And I love you all very much. And as you all know, I do in my meditational thoughts, I pour out hearts all over you all, and hopefully you catch them every day. So the title tonight is Do You See the Game Has Changed? And most people don't like the fact that it has. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. But I know a lot of people, probably some of you as well, are struggling. And we're going to talk about the struggle a little bit. Okay. So, but many of you many of you on this call, a lot of you are new. Many of you on the call are have been with me for, I don't know, many years, right? But let's just say the last 2 or 3 years, to be real clear, right? And I have warned people over and over and over again for you to turn off the TV wizards due to lies and program narratives that they want you to believe. And so if you don't have, and I've told you this years ago, right? If you don't have the willpower to know everything they say are and you cannot assume the opposite is true, then you need to leave it off and turn it off. You need to leave it off. Now, again, if you have the power to watch it and go, I know better, I need to see the opposite or whatever. Okay, Dawn told me we've inverted, and everything that was before is now not true and upside down. You aren't thinking energy. You're thinking that's what they said, and I told you 4 years ago they were lying, right? So long story short, I take that back. I told you then, but they've been lying for 40 years. So again, I digress a little bit, but if you don't have the willpower to know that everything they say, right, and you can assume the opposite is true of it, then I'm telling you, turn it off. Live your damn lives. Nothing, I mean, nothing from your past is going to serve you right now. And I mean nothing of the boxes, nothing of the media boxes, nothing of the medical boxes, nothing of the religious boxes, nothing of the educational boxes, nothing of the political boxes. Every single one of those boxes, they are dividing and conquering, and they are dividing you to the point where you're in hatred, anger, and sadness, and fear, and anxiety. And I'm like, how's that working for you? Right? How's that fucking working for you? It's not. I gotta be careful. We're on YouTube. So anyway, okay, sorry I let that slip. You have to make a choice, my friends, to live your best life and deal with all your own BS instead of falling for their look over here and stop looking inside approach. That's all they're doing. Look over here. Don't look inside. So, okay. So there's my turn it off approach. Take my turn it off approach. It's the best approach you can have. Everything they told you in the last 3 years, they're now telling you, oh, sorry, we were wrong. And you're like, no, but they were only wrong on that thing. Now, everything is programming. It's programmed. It's pre-programmed to get you fighting and arguing and sad. Okay. Meaning, right, that they lied and they always will. I mean, everything that has you divided or in fear, you have to go, oh, Don told me they're trying to program me to be divided and in fear. Okay, so it's the best I can do because there's not one thing they're talking about. And I don't care if it's the political crap, if it's the medical crap, if it's the school crap, if it's the we're gonna protest crap on school. It's all of it. It's a lie. It's made up. Okay, it's programmed. They're pre-programmed shows. Okay, so I said my piece. All right, put on a Hallmark or something great. I love Hallmark. You'll love it. You might hate it so much, but you'll love it because it makes you feel good. Okay, but something other than the news. All right, so what you're seeing from tonight's call, which is are you realizing the game has changed? What was supposedly truth is now not truth. And so have you realized the game has changed? And many people I'm realizing they haven't realized it. Okay. And so, oh, aloha, beautiful Jamie. The game is to choose you or be sad. Okay, class over. We're done. Okay, you guys ready? That's it. Choose you or be sad. And when you realize up to this point in life, you haven't chosen you, you're going to still be sad for a while. And you're realizing, I got to pull my shit together. Okay. So have you realized, you've got to start thinking of this. Have you realized that what you once believed was impossible now is expected? What you were taught to be truth is now a box that you must break out of. What you were told is bad is now your solution. Right? The horse medicine that everybody's talking about 3 years ago that was like horrible for you is now the solution to cure all these wonderful diseases. I can give you sighting after sighting after sighting on it. And it's so sad to me because we are finally waking up and I'm telling you, the game has changed. Find what's going to heal you, your body, your heart, your mind, whatever. What is hard to watch is how many people are clinging to the old, outdated. So the new seems so ridiculous because the old is it's hardwired in. And we're not willing to look inside and see where the hardwiring is kicking our ass. So if you're resisting releasing anything, and I mean anything from your belief system to your habits to a secret, a darkness within you, whatever it is, an illness, okay? That's what I want you to start thinking about. Think about if you're having a hard time resisting, releasing, it's like a tongue-tied. The biggest part of that is not the thing you're trying to release. The biggest part to focus on is your emotions around those things. The emotions that you continue avoiding reveal your trap door, like you're trapped. You can't go, I don't know why, I'm nothing wrong. I feel good. I think I'm good. And I'm telling you, you're not. And when you really avoid those emotions, they reveal your trap door to be free from your challenges. But it must be your choice to do the deep work on you without blame. Clear it and then walk towards the new. And I am watching so much blame and accusatory and judgment. And why? Why do you think you're being pushed to do that? So you don't go inside to hear what I just asked you to do. Find the emotions that are trapped and push them out. Some are good at releasing their emotions in small batches. I watch some people, I'm like, wow, they're really good at this. Right. And then and they continually release it and go up another level and release and go up. And there's some of us that have some darkness and dark demons that were like, nope, holding on at all costs. This is sometimes forced on you. So some of you have been doing a lot of work, right? But you haven't been doing the work on thing, the thing that you're like, oh, I'm doing the work, but I don't want to talk about that. I'm doing it all, but that really still just frustrates me. This is when you keep raising your frequency in all things, in all areas, as we talked about last week, and you're at the center of the lotus flower, and one of those wilted houses of your life is still wilted, and you're like, I'm still really good over here, right? But but you've been doing all this other work, and so part of you is kind of taking lift off, and you haven't addressed this one. This sometimes gets forced on you to heal that. When you've been doing the work and you tiptoe around the emotional release, that is inevitable. Okay. So if you want your reality to match the higher frequency work that you've been doing, saying you want more money is different than starting down the demon blocking you from what's already yours. Right? Saying like you've been healing it physically and energetically, working on your budget, working on the money, da, 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 da. But it was also just not 100% valid on what really needed to be released for you to be financially open, right? Because there's still an emotional boulder sitting there, the emotion attached to it. So that's what happens. And when we do the work and we miss one or two things we keep avoiding and they're huge, that's when you get pushed into the dark night of the soul. When you've been doing the work and there's stuff you can't quite deal with looking at, what is the dark night of the soul? It's seeing your demons of emotions come to life in your physical reality going, mother blankety blank. OMG, I've been fixing this and dealing with this and healing this and recovering this and recycling this, and I clear it and I cancel it and I, right? And then all of a sudden it comes blaring its big old ugly horns because it's the emotion. And I have yet to see a client or a friend or a family member avoid it, myself included. Many are feeling it within the last few months. And as we finish this huge energy purge of shit, right? And this can appear as health shit, of work shit, of money shit, family, spouse, partners, kids, home, depression, guilt, self-hatred, humiliation, shame, anger, resentment, fear, sadness, hopelessness. So many people feel hopeless, and I'm like, don't feel hopeless. I've felt hopeless at times. But admitting it and then canceling the pattern of it, repeating ever again, is your first step. Just admitting that you feel that way. Because most don't want to admit it. They just want to keep talking about what someone did and how they made you feel and where they went, and they went this and they got this and they got indicted, and who fucking cares? That has nothing to do with you. Nothing. And I find this topic insane that we're even talking about these things. When people, you're all sick, you're sad, you're depressed, you're frustrated, you're trying to get off meds. At least some of my clients are like, I want to get off antidepressants. I get it. But that's not going to happen when you're sitting out there living in fear and drama porn. And we are all listening. And if it isn't there, you're looking for a friend who has it, or a child who has it, or wherever we go, we're going to look for it. Okay. And so what I want you guys to understand is that it feels darker than usual right now, because it's not, you all are the warriors. I think I've shared this with you a million times. If you're on these calls, everybody put your hand up and say, I'm a warrior, Dawn. I'm a warrior. Yes. I keep reminding you, you would not be on my calls if you are not a warrior. And why does it feel darker for you than anybody else? It feels dark for everybody, right? It's just that the life patterns you're seeing of darkness and each experiencing that you're coming up for you, all low frequency patterns that are surfacing, that are those dark demons. Here's the key. Don't run away, because you're going to try. You have for years. but the game has changed. So seeing it is your fastest way out. And I don't mean the thing, you're seeing the thing no matter what, the emotion about the thing, because it's memories that will ask if that demon is still the boss. Is that still the boss of you? Whatever the thing is. It's so intense because you can't run away until you see the lesson it's asking you to learn. And then it's going to ask you this key thing. You ready? When you go, no, you're not the boss of me, demon, right? Is what do you want? And is this demon topic thing, experience, external bullshit you're watching? Is that what you really want in your energy field, in your mind field? You know that your mind has it's the matrix and it has fucking parasites in it that affect your body. So parasitic thoughts create parasitic bodies, create parasitic environments. Is this demon showing you one of those parasitic environments? What you really want? That's all it's asking you, because this is all you, boo-boo. This is all you doing it. And if not, each time you increase your frequency, it shines light on that unwanted old trauma that you keep running from in your lotus petal, your in your, happy highway. I call it a cul-de-sac because we'll call it a circle of 12 houses representing you. And in one of those houses, you're struggling. So each time you raise your frequency, the light is going to make that darkness even brighter that you keep running from. And that darkness gets even darker and scarier. And now the reason I'm telling you that the game has changed is because you can't run from it anymore. So avoiding anything you fear right now is causing you into a dark night of the soul feeling like you can't take this pain any longer. And I know too many people going through this right now in so many ways. So raising your consciousness, raising your, what do I allow in my energy field is a huge, huge key right now. It triggers your God codes in your DNA, and your DNA is made of light. You are the Son of God. You are God codes inside of you already with the ability to heal all things. You are mastered in the emotion on that topic. So if it's wilting a little bit, you're not mastered. It means you haven't dove into the emotions that are attached to that weak spot of your life. And I don't care what the topic. Throw it out there and I'll show you where it shows up. You are in charge of your thoughts that are in the way of your things. The thing of your body, a healthy body, the things in the world that you want to have. You want to have a beautiful garden. You want to have a farm maybe with a cow and a chicken or whatever. Right? Those things are vital to you, but you can't have them if you don't deal with the one thing that's blocking you from it. So when you're down or you're in pain or insecure or angry or any emotions coming up, it's not that you are less powerful. It's not. It's that you are in your blocked brain of darkness. And if you can give your cells that are holding these stupid old bullshit program boulders in the way, if you can give them a new frequency of thought and tell the body simply to walk out of the box into the healing code mode, you will be in a lighter, higher frequency. And if you can simply in that moment, you're like, I don't know what to do, Dawn. I'm stuck. I can't even think about frequency. Do your DMT breathing. In for 9, hold for 9, out for 9. And do it for a minute. Just think about try it for a minute and watch. If you can focus on just that, focus on it for 30 seconds. And your thoughts will be somewhere else, not on that thing. And then you can go, that's right, I'm supposed to break out of this stupid box because it's bullshit. All right. When you're done with that, it's time to walk back onto that happy highway of your dreams. That includes turning on all the lights in that house. You're in the middle of that lotus flower. You're in the middle of that cul-de-sac of all your 12 houses. We discussed this last week. Imagine you're standing in the center of of a lotus flower and there's 12 petals. You're seeing all 12 of those petals, or count them as a house of your life chart, zodiac chart, right? And you're in the middle with a programmed mind or a higher self reminding you either get the program mind or the higher self, reminding you of your inner warrior that's holding light, right? Because I'm going to share with you, for 30 years, I've been doing this work in some way, some shape or another. I'm going to tell you straight up, and nobody likes hearing this. And I realize I don't give a shit if you guys like hearing anymore. I'm telling you, you will lean into your gifts so heavily to override and avoid your insecurities and your karmic clearing, because they are connected to your childhood wounds and your pain. And I'm not, you will blame everyone. I'm telling you, you're going to blame everyone for these weak spots and insecurities. And you're going to find every time you blame someone, right? You will find an illness to match your emotional pain. You will find friends and family to abandon you of that exact pain. You will look for the lying TV wizards to remind you you should be in fear and you should ignore your heart. You will be a people pleaser and find ways to help others so you can feel wanted. And you will accept behavior that hurts you to remind you that you suck. All by the way of this stupid bullshit programming, and you all have to understand it's total utter bullshit. And you are seeing you in them. And these people that you've drawn in, you're seeing you. You are being shown emotions, not people or experiences. You're being shown emotions of how you feel inside. If your body is in pain somewhere or aching in a certain part of your body, you're being shown, go Google or go look. I've posted this millions of times. I'll post another one in Truth Tribe and the Truth Tribe Facebook wall. Part of your body represents an emotion. So if you have pain or anger or a rash or hair or itching or I don't know, whatever's going on, okay? And you're like, no, it's just the body. No. It's an emotion trying to get your attention. And you're being shown an emotion, not a body pain. You're being shown an emotion, not an asshole friend. You're being shown an emotion, not a TV digital program screen, trashing every single person they can, and then going, oh, but these people over here beating people up, we won't talk about that. You're being shown that so you can go, how does this make me feel? Sad, embarrassed, oh my God, horrified. Well, then you're horrified about something inside of you. So I'm trying to tell you, my friends, you're being shown emotions, not people, not experiences. So every time you get a pain emotionally or physically, it's a match to your own. I don't care what you want to call it. It is energy, frequency, and sonar. Now let's be clear. This is, and it will never be your parents' fault. Even if the trauma was so deep from them, and believe me, I've seen it, and there are some bad freaking parents out there, but I need you all to know we all chose those parents for a reason. So we come as souls for some specific grid and blueprint, and we know the blueprint. Well, now we're starting to be able to read it faster and go, oh shit, no wonder. Got it. This is your soul's karmic learning opportunity to release you to a new frequency of your reality. Stare down the feeling of that demon and keep moving through the emotion. You're in the middle, and each petal represents your life, whatever's going on. And you can look around and go, that one's good, and that one's good. Oh, that one, no. And most people just slide right by it. Look at which of those 12 petals are wilted. The category of your life is likely one of your hotspots in your chart. I'm guaranteeing you it's probably one of those houses. Okay. And even more so right now, given the energy, it's more than highly likely Saturn or the moon, whatever houses those are sitting in, are absolutely acting out right now. Okay. I'll answer you at Q&A, Jamie. That's a good one. We have questions coming in. So if we are all energy, my friends, and we're the flow of frequency, sound, vibration, right? Why would we not just reset the frequency of those wilted petals? I say I agree. People asked on that question. I'm like, no, I agree. It's because they have the most emotional residue. Those areas for you have the most emotional residue. That's the house with your avoided emotions. That's the part of your life that you're avoiding the emotions because you've been told for eons, it's not possible, you're doomed. And we all believed that shit, right? And you don't have to be, you have to be so dialed in into what you're good at, okay? You learned that if you're so good at, I don't know why engineer came to me. I'm such a good engineer. You learn to smother everything with it, even the stuff that doesn't work with engineering, like your heart. Does that make sense? So you will do everything like you do the thing you're good at. You're also going to do everything like the thing you're bad at when you're in a weak spot. So when you get vulnerable, you start acting like the wilted house. So here's a tip, all of you real quick. I want you to choose one thing in your life right now you feel that is repeating of like hopelessness or despair or just frustration or pain. Okay. Think of that thing, person, place, thing, body, whatever. Okay. Now I want you to simply put it on a plate right here. This is your plate. Everybody put your little thing on the plate. Okay. We'll call it tray, plate, whatever you want it to be. Okay. So put it, whatever this thing is, just put it there. Everybody has it on your tray. Okay. Now I simply want you to raise that tray up through a waterfall. Imagine a waterfall is coming down your hand right now. And I want you to take that tray and stick it under the waterfall and start pushing it up and seeing all of its muddy issues rinsing away as you rise it up to a higher level. It's just got mud coming off of it. Okay. All right. Now bring the tray back. Now look at it. And now I want you to pick a little right here. See, this is little me, little you. Put it on the tray right there. Okay, now replace that thing with little you on that tray, raise it up and start to rinse. Okay, when you come back down, it's still you. The thing, still the thing. What I'm trying to help you all understand is you can try to heal and get rid of shit all you want. We tried to rinse away the emotions. It's not you. It's not a new you coming down here. It's not a new you. It's a less muddy, burdened with programs lack you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why you're all so perfect. You just have a whole bunch of lack, boulders, and anger, and separation, and trash talk going on up here. Believe me, I've had a bout of my own. It's the authentic you we're looking for, where it's in alignment and it gets out of, it allows the boulders to get out of the way. But the problem is those boulders are attached to very deep emotional pain. And we're dealing with physical healing. I watch people do, why? Because I used to do it a lot. I used to do a lot of physical healing. And I'm like, nothing's working. I get it because it's not where the source is. The source, the wound is telling you where to go, but then it's saying, good job. Now help it along with the emotion. Here's the big key. Can you be honest enough to admit, right? It's not you. You just need to remove the programs. Can you be honest enough to admit you have an emotion that you have not addressed? Can you say, wow, I did program myself with that disease because I was told it would get me like the boogeyman? Can you admit something like that? Because most people are like, oh, I didn't bring this on myself. Of course you didn't intentionally do it, but that emotion attracted it. That emotion said, we feel so shitty about ourselves. Let me bring that into me and get that disease so I can have something to focus on to prove they were right. Can you admit I programmed myself with unlovable because my mom told me I wasn't? Wow. Can you admit, wow, I did program myself with abandonment because everyone left me? Think about this. Can you admit that you have not known these programs are showing up to show you you had no knowledge that these programs were coming at you because that's what you got programmed as a child, and that's what you're here to heal. The emotion that comes up when I bring up any of these things. So yeah, are we reprogrammed? Do we have a emotion in ourselves of fear and abandonment and unlovable and useless and unworthy and uncaring and depressed? Sure you do. But they come from that weak spot. And I'm telling you, if you go look at the moon or Chiron in your chart, you'll see, holy shit, that is the wilted flower on one of them. Right? We talk all about these in the Zodiac Wheels Your Mess. That's why I've been pushing it so much. I'm like, focus on 4 things. You can see the name of that house. That's the area you have a lot of emotions around. Just write the emotions down. On that topic, this is how I feel. When you're at home, do you feel at peace? Do you feel like you can just relax and not feel like you're going to go home to a stressed out environment or a stressful spouse who's going to put their bullshit on you every day and you can't do anything about it? Yes, you can. You say no. But the question is going to lie. Can you be honest enough to see it's been there in your chart as a karmic lesson to break free from at birth? So you did program it. You just didn't know who was going to come along and make you realize you had to look for it and go, oh, crap. I did. I put that in there so I could see Dawn was right. I'm a freaking warrior and I'm going to warrior out of this. And I'm going to tell you all, you set this up to free yourself. And that, my friend, is why the game has changed. Because there is nothing on this planet that can't be healed. So the lying wizardry doctor boxes, I'm telling you, are lying because they've been lied to by other lying wizards. And if you don't research this stuff, that's not on me anymore. I'm not going to deep dive for all of you. If you want to know, I will send you links. But I'm not going to even shut my sites down anymore just because people can't, they're so afraid to talk about it. And I know a lot of people are, so I'll send you the people who have maintained their pages. But it's true. There's not a single experience, pain, disease, ailment on this planet that is not healable. You have been lied to. Now, is it slower than they want it to be? Of course. They can tell you, oh yeah, I can cut it out and make it better in a week. Okay, well, yeah, no, they just spread it all over your body the second they cut it. And so if the placebo can heal anything, right? It can heal any wilted petal of your life. The placebo is a sugar pill. You don't know it's a placebo, but it is. And you believe that placebo pill that is nothing but a sugar pill makes you believe energy opens up, flows, and you organically ignite your God codes and you start healing. So it starts with seeing the actual issue as an avoided emotion and canceling all thoughts and actions that you've been putting into it. Only the intention that you have that you intend to keep on that topic, which is healing or building or running away from a terrible relationship, whatever. Okay. But we go to these experiences because they are showing us how we feel about ourselves inside. So now that you see relationships, again, what I've been asking you to look at a lot of these petals or relationships in your life. So now that you see these relationships are in complete, sorry, I keep moving because I'm sticking to my chair. I wore a skirt, now I'm sticking to the leather. I can't move. Like you needed to know that, but don't you hate that in the summer when you're like totally like you can't sit anywhere as a girl because we wear dresses. Anyway, sorry about that little side note there. So now that you see your relationships are in complete dissatisfaction, I see divorces all damn day lately, disaster, right? As well, it's everywhere. You can see it's easier to blame a person over yourself, right? Why would we be so shitty at relationships, my friends? Why would anyone want that? I know none of you want that. We all deserve to have love and community and connection. You go back to the best tribes, and that's what made them thrive. Women weren't sad and depressed. They had whole communities to help them with their babies, take care of them while they healed. Men had tribes of men to help each other and support. We had rite of passage for young boys, so they knew they were an actual adult instead of not knowing what the hell to do with themselves. Like, they weren't raised by women, they were raised by a community. We've lost all that. And so why wouldn't we want healthy relationships, right? Why would they be so shitty? Because healthy teams are stronger than single angry fighting humans who don't know love. And right now we have a huge planet of single angry fighting humans who don't know love. And so it's time to ask yourself, what the heck do you want? Okay. If you're not getting it, right? Think about your relationships. You don't want a relationship. You want company to avoid your emotions. You don't want vulnerability. You want validation to prove you're enough. You don't want intimacy. You want diversion, distraction. It's time to dive deep into your soul, my friends, and see what emotions you're avoiding. And you can see the area you avoid, but it's begging for light. Right? So the simple answer is Zodiac Will is your medicine wheel that I have for you guys right now, right? I know I keep harping on it, but it's why I made it $9. I'm like, this can't be that difficult for people to just sit through. I think it's maybe an hour class, maybe an hour and a half. Like, it's in 3 little sections of like 20 minutes or something. It's a minute class, but it shows you Zodiac. It reminds you what houses and where your hotspots sit in what department. Right. And if you haven't done the DMT method where we charge our water, I don't have my big glass here, but where I have my less glass, and we charge our water, right? If you haven't been to DMT method where it's on steroids, just do what I asked you to do and take a sticky note, stick that thing on there, and drink the charged water with love every single day. Right? Put that topic on a plate, hand it up, cleanse it in that waterfall. I'm cleansed, I'm cured, I'm healed. Put this on your water. Right on there. I wrote for you guys. Repeat this. I love you. I love stability for you. I trust you. I believe in you. Something. And drink it do something besides turning your eyeballs onto darkness and despair. Okay? Everybody repeat this again. I know I've done this a couple calls, but everybody repeat after me and then clap 3 times. I teleport into my dream reality now. A lot of questions came in, so I'm going to get to them in a second. Let's get through this planetary update, and then I'll tap on all of them. Tomorrow, June 4th. Gemini new moon. If you know your chart, it's at 16 degrees. Go see where Gemini, because this is a huge alignment in the sky this week. Okay. Gemini is the multitasker, the communication sign. Also rules siblings. So you might see sibling stuff. New moons are new beginnings, and they encourage us to get curious and investigate and see different sides of the coin, be flexible, be multifaceted in our pursuits, see both sides of everything. What did I tell you? The game has changed. There's not one side to view anymore. You can't look at one side of any coin, one side of any box. And if you're in it, you better freaking see both. Okay. It's telling you this, and it's happening on the whole planet, not just to each of you, by the way, right? It signifies like a fresh start and a new opportunity to begin in your life. New moon always aligns with the sun, right? The sun's here, and here the moon sits on top of it, right? And so when it does, it intensifies this Gemini energy. Okay. So empower yourself by referencing your birth chart. Go find it on my website, ideserveitnow.com, tools, free birth chart, right? Identify the zodiac house that belongs to Gemini in your chart. And this will guide your new moon reflection, right? Consider the themes of communication, thought processes, your immediate surroundings, because it's your immediate family, your immediate communication, right? It's not out there stuff. What sparks your curiosity now, right? When you say, what do I want? What sparks that? What questions do you have about the future? Consider the intentions that you wish to set under this moon, right? This is a time for exploration and being diverse and having intellectual stimulation. Talk to people. Now, if that wasn't enough, there's 6 planets aligning with this alignment of this new moon in Gemini, right? We also have, you have the moon in Gemini, which rules feeling. You have Mercury in Gemini lining up with it. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, also tomorrow. Ruling communication. You have Mars in Gemini, ruling assertion. You have Jupiter in Gemini, ruling expansion, right? And then you have who did I miss? Oh, the sun in Gemini, ruling where you shine. And then we have Uranus. Uranus will still be in Taurus, but it's so close. You have 6, like a string of planets right here. Okay. All 6 of them in Gemini, or 5 of them in Gemini, all 6 of them in alignment, right? So they're expanding this theme of clarity in our lives. If you can't speak it out loud of who you are and what you want, you're going to have a hard time. And if you're going through a rough time right now, I'm telling you, stare down the demons and see the feel, right? Just to get a little notepad out, write what that demon feels like, not who the person is, what they did to you, where they're going. Ugh, yuck. Write the feeling and then start addressing how you're not handling that feeling, and talk about that feeling with someone. Talk about that feeling to someone that you care about. Or if the person that's giving you problems, tell them, this is how I feel. This is clearly, I'm doing this. I'm creating this. I'm making you be an asshole, whatever it is, right? You can go both ways, guys. Low frequency of the TV wizard shit expansion, or you can choose to upgrade and make an amazing dream life expansion. Okay. What do you want? Be very crystal clear. The universe is listening. Write it down, then burn it and let it go, and know that you will not hold any emotions that do not align with your dream life from now on. Make sense? Okay. Okay, quickly here. Let's tap into the thymus. This is your nervous system. This is your immune center. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Tap in those crappy beliefs. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. Okay. All right. I'm going to go after the questions that came in. Who's feeling the emotional rush surfacing right now, masked as pain and pressure? It's emotions. Okay. So this one came in and it says, sorry. What about an abusive relationship emotionally and physically? Okay. So I know she knows this answer because she's a brilliant woman. But Jamie, when you ask that question, do you realize that they're showing you your own emotional and physical abuse? Like, we have to look at ourselves from that level, right? We have to look at what we don't like in another person or what we're trying to fix. Typically, we'll try to rescue that person and fix that in them. And the specific thing you're trying to fix is them, and what you're trying to avoid in you. So it's not about the abusive relationship is you walking into it and not walking out, because you feel that emotion with them. You're almost drawn to them like a magnet. Remember, if you are in a negative place, you're going to attract that positive of more of this from them to make you a magnetic match. So if you don't want to attract that anymore, we've got to heal the emotions around that, not the you. You're perfect. Comment back on that if that makes sense. All right, next one is, so we raise our frequencies, which shines our lights, but then the brighter our light shows the darkness demon more intensely. So then we see it and we stare it down. That sounds like a vicious cycle instead of clearing out. Yes. How about a reset? So my point is that it's typically, if you start honing in, especially on the, by the way, yes, Jamie said I walked out. Okay, everybody, we're all applauding you. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's the first solution. Now go write down all the emotions that you felt with it and then write them down and ask, have you really released them all? Because I'm watching people say, oh yeah, and they're doing better, but they're not better. And that's why. So this was a really good question, right? Sounds like a vicious circle of clearing out. What I'm starting to realize is there one or two of our flower, one or two petals, one or two houses have not gotten deep enough. And I don't mean on we've cleared it. I've heard this a lot. I've cleared it. I've done all the work, but we haven't actually truly healed or at least tapped into the demon of the emotion. We tap into the demon of the action or the experience or the thought pattern I got to change the thought pattern. If I do that, I'll do better. And I did a good job. And if you think about it, when you address it on your level, your emotion is I'm not enough. Is anybody going to want me, for the authentic me? Can I just be me? Are you actually being authentic you, or are you people pleasing or trying to do things and remedy and fix people, or even have a word for their fix to make them feel better so you get validated and feel it? There's a feeling there. I know there's a feeling there. And it's a feeling that we keep avoiding. So it has everything to do with your one repeating cycle. She just brought it up. It's the same thing, but it's with an emotion that's attached to it. Does that make sense, my friends? So we're trying to sidestep the one area, all of us are. And I'm telling you, some people, it's money coming up. I just saw 4 divorces in my clientele. Okay. And they each were mirroring each other. And the sad part is a couple of them could have been remedied, but they just, even through coaching, even through healing, one of them was like, I'm in, and we did the work. And then the other one said, I refuse to look at it. I'm not going to keep going to therapy. I'm not going to deal with that. It's not my fault. It's my daddy. It's because my daddy died. That's why I'm sad. I'm like, wow, right? It's not your dad's fault. It's not your mom's fault that she died. It's not it's not the person that they cheated on. They didn't cheat. I'm just making examples of a whole bunch of 30 years of doing this that have come up. Right? They cheated on me. That's bullshit. You both are avoiding your emotional demon that's down below, that's begging the other person to see you. And you're saying, but see, you victimized me. You hurt me. Well, you were waiting for it because you've been doing it your whole life. Most of you are masters at this one house, 1 or 2. So does that make sense? How you shared that? All right, Jamie, healing the emotions of self-worth, feeling loyal because I need to as a Christian woman. I feel free the moment I decided to love me, knowing I deserve better. Ready. Yes. I'm sorry, it's not showing me. Oh, real love, not unhealthy love. Absolutely, you do. And I want you to dig deeper than self-worth. I want you to go deeper than self-worth. Which is good. She's sharing with us. She's having a little coaching session with us. Jamie, I want you to go deeper than self-worth. What does self-worth mean to you? Like, what is worth? Let's just let's dice it down to worth. What do you think you're worth? Because this has been my mission on the planet since I started doing this work, to raise self-worth of the planet. You know why? Because we all think we're crap down below somewhere on some topic. So I want to know what is worth what makes you worth it? What does being worth it feel like to you? Because it may tap into some other emotions of going, wow, to be, financially cared for, or to be emotionally cared for by another human, to be respected, to not be abandoned, to all these things that will come up when you go, if I had that, I would feel worth it. Dig deeper into your worth. What makes you worth it? What would you have in your life if you felt higher value of worth? It's a big one. It's huge. Valued, appreciated, being seen and heard. Okay. So now you need to see you, and you need to hear you. What do you want to be seen for? And what do you want to be heard for? What does that feel like? When someone sees you, what does it feel like? Guys, I'm showing you how this process works. You got to go deeper and deeper and ask yourself what these things feel like to you, because you don't know, because we're avoiding that deepest emotion. Respect and cherished. And if you were cherished, what would your life look like? What would it feel like if you had a cherished, someone respected you and cherished you? What would it feel like? What would it look like? This is how you start digging. Is this digging like a rabbit? See, again, we keep asking, is it never ending? It'll get there. You'll finally get to the one that makes you cry. And when you start feeling one of these that makes you cry, oh, acceptance. And when you think about being accepted, Jamie, does that sometimes put a pit in your gut, a pit in your throat, wondering if it's ever going to happen? She just got to the one. She doesn't feel accepted on the inside. So she's going to attract people who remind her she's unacceptable. Thank you, by the way, for walking out, and we're very proud of you, and you're doing the work. Now I'm going to ask you to do the emotional work. You did the physical work, what I was talking about earlier. Now you have to do the emotional work and figure out what emotion drew you to it in the first place, because if it's gone and we remove that emotional boulder, you're in alignment. And then you can just receive what you deserve. Exactly. And that's how you have to start making yourself feel, Jamie. So she said it feels like softness, laughter, and together. So you have to start being softer on yourself and start finding ways to laugh more. Everything you can laugh about. Okay, there's one more thing here. Let's see. The next question is, if the game has changed, why are we so messed up? Okay, I know it sounds like if the game changed, it would be better. It is better. We aren't messed up, guys. We're making changes from our hearts instead of the old program mindsets, which this is the matrix. Okay. And that's why we're confused about how to proceed. We're not messed up. We're just confused on which way to go, because the old us went however the cattle line took us in school, and however the cattle line took us at work, and however the punch clocks told us we could do, and however the doctor told us we'll never cure. That's what we're leaving. Okay? That's what we're leaving. And that's why we're not messed up. We're just unsure of where to go because we never realized we could pick whatever the hell we want and there's no lines. All right. Someone said, how do you avoid the news? Guys, turn it off. That's my first answer, right? You choose you. This is an easy answer for me. You choose to fill you with everything you can to make your mind and your body and your soul stronger. No wizards in anything. No, no TV wizards, no doctor wizards, no nothing. You find all natural ways to finally supplement your body. No toxic food. You detox parasites and metals. You eat more healthy fats. You drink your charged water. You add a few pebbles of Celtic salt to it daily. Watch how much you will grow, and you will give a shit less about the wizards if you just did all of that to yourself. Your world would rock, and you will have more power to help others learn what you did. But we're not willing to do that work. Someone just asked me, how do I heal? They asked, one of this friend said, how do I heal? Is it possible to heal lupus naturally? I said, yeah, God gave us the codes to heal everything naturally. I doubt he will do it, but I'm willing to have a discussion with him. I'm not a doctor, guys, but I can tell you, I don't go to doctors for a reason, because I heal everything naturally. Is it take longer? Is it more frustrating? Do the emotions come up with it? Abso-fucking-lutely. But that's the whole problem. They numb you so much at the doctor, you'll never let any of that stuff come up, right? You don't need it. Okay. Jamie, let's see. Yes, I'm always having to prove self. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. When you feel the emotion of acceptance, and I feel like I have to be accepted, you will stop learning, you'll stop entertaining this emotional acceptance. Like, you'll start entertaining accepting yourself. It's not about loving little you. You already are loving. You are already amazing. I'm telling you, there's an emotional block that may be deeper than acceptance. Someone said, maybe Jamie's got guilt. They're helping you here on Zoom. What I think it's deeper than acceptance. And again, if you keep going and just have a freaking meltdown temper tantrum about why you let yourself get there, I think you might get to some of the emotions that are holding you back, because you should never, ever feel unaccepted. We all love you. I love you. And that's all that matters, right? So, okay. All right, guys, we're hitting time here. Any more questions? Hopefully I got through a lot of those. At the end of the day, guilt about being happy, guilt about choosing yourself, guilt about living. So guilt isn't I mean, guilt is a feeling, yes. It's an emotion, but at the end of the day, I'm watching people that have a lot of guilt, have guilt for something else. And she very well may have guilt for living. We all have a lot of guilt for living our best lives. God forbid we go out and live our best lives and be happy because everyone else is a disaster and sad and depressed now. I say, fuck them. Go live your best lives and be happy. I'm telling you guys, this whole session has really got me emotionally, like the topic kind of stimulated, because I've been teaching this stuff for so long and I'm still watching the same pattern. I don't want to do the work on myself. And I'm telling you, those of you who have done the work on yourself, you end up getting super sick. That's a dark night of the soul. You get sick, you get leveled financially, you get something that says, are you really ready to let everything go and start with your true authentic self? Right? That's what I want you to understand. Okay, so this is a really big deal that we're going through this energetic phase. It's a wave of energy. I've given you a way out, at least to look at your own soul blueprint. You don't want to you want to go backwards. You want to be I'm weird, so I always do things backwards. Go get the IDI Academy. Go do that one first. Go do step number 2 and then step number 1 and go, oh my gosh, everything I learned from my parents, it's right here on my chart. So do it backwards. Don't trust me, don't believe me. Go write down, go do IDI Academy, find out what you learned from your parents that is super unhealthy. That's where these emotions are coming from. And you're going to go, oh my gosh. So go do step number 2. Go on my website, ideserveitnow.com, I Deserve It Academy, take the course. And number 1, you're going to start and you're going to learn what you learned growing up in your iPod and your programming and your emotions. And you're going to go, holy shit. This is how I feel right now. I get it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to delete anything. You just have to stare it down and realize, wow, what part of that is affecting what part of my life? Then you go do IDI, then you go to the Zodiac wheel and you go, oh, you're right, Dawn. My 4 hotspots, it does affect that hotspot 1 and hotspot 2 in my life. We're all symbolic. It's all symbols. Nothing is an accident. Okay? All right, my friends, remember, if you're not in the Facebook Truth Tribe group, go sign in and log in. I will always be adding updates there. Reminder, I was going to tell you guys, as I always do, you want to be in your full power. You want to learn what I'm talking about and truly follow along with when I'm teaching these classes, and you have your chart and you're like, oh my gosh, she's right. I got to work on that house. Oh, she's right. On the houses she's talking about in the planets. Wow, they do match that house for me. Watch out. Oh, ooh, get excited, right? You've got to learn it. But if you don't know you, Zodiac Wheel is simply your freaking blueprint of your sonar, of your energetic frequency waves. So if you don't want to know it, that's on you. Okay. So go learn, go get number 1, nature. You learn your nature. Zodiac Wheel's your medicine wheel. Step 2, learn your nurturing. What your parents programmed you with in the IDI Academy. Then step 3, apply that knowledge, all 12 steps in the relationship toolbox. And if you can do that toolbox and speak it to another partner, no matter what, you won't have shitty relationships anymore. And then step 4 is you're going to come with me to DMT method. Okay. Next, you're going to do this. So from now on, y'all know, I see you guys are finding me on YouTube. So good job. See, some of my friends are smart cookies. Anyway, if you're listening to this live after the live session with all of you who are on here with me on YouTube or Spotify later, remember that the links that I'm going to post are in the notes. Thank you for everything. I haven't relied on sleeping pills for almost 2 weeks. Everybody, You can't hear them, Pat. Everybody give Pat congrats. Send him love. Pour hearts all over him right now. We're so proud of you. I am so proud of you. That is so awesome. Pat, that's amazing. That is a very hard thing to pull off of. We love you. We're proud of you. That is amazing. Um, wow. Okay. Um, so again, remember, if you have any questions, you know how to find, well, all of you know how to find me in a DM on one social media or another, or go into the Truth Tribe, post a comment or a question there. I will always answer it there. But for now, I'm proud of all of you. I believe in all of you. You've got this. You guys are going to go live your best life. We're going to push through the boulders. We're going to uproot these emotions. Even if you got to cry while you're sitting here with me in the call, I'm okay with that, but we got to get them out. I love you all. Brightest blessings. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me. Take care.